Hello and welcome to McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle, where for the first time since 2019, the Jets are paying tribute to, well, the Jets. It's RAAF Appreciation Round. As the referee, Jack Morgan, leads the two sides out onto McDonald Jones Stadium. Get an opportunity to have a look at the two lineups. There's Josh Sotirio at the back of the Newcastle lineup, walking out. Ben Wayne for the Wellington Phoenix. Won't he be looking to continue his outstanding start to the 2022-23 Isuzu UTE A-League men's campaign. So here is the Newcastle Jets lineup. And Arthur Pappas makes two force changes to the side that belatedly opened its season with victory over Perth. They are significant. Becca Mikkeltadze has succumbed to a groin niggle and is out of the side. It means Joshua Sotirio comes in. Trent Bahaja has been named to start up front. Jordan Elsey, as I mentioned, is out, allowing Matt Yerman to come in at the back. And Archie Goodwin is named on the bench after returning from under-20s Asian Cup qualifying. The Phoenix, speaking of, are also going to be forced into a change this afternoon. You would have to say that based on Ufuk Tale's comments during the week, he wasn't overly impressed with having to leave Lucas Moragas at home. He's ineligible to play against his parent club. He's on loan from Newcastle. And Sam Sutton is his replacement at left back. 19-year-old Noah Karunaratne is in line to make his A-League bow. Arthur Pappas, in charge of a Newcastle side, looking to create history by finally breaking a 17-season drought to win 2 games to open an A-League campaign. Jack Morgan is the referee in charge of his 9th A-League game. And he gets us underway at McDonald Jones Stadium. Alongside me for the call is Phil Moss. It's an amazing stat, Mossy, that Newcastle have never won 2 games to start a season. Can that change today?
Well, it certainly can, Ben. Great to be great to be alongside you for this call. You can tell I'm a bit rusty after the off-season, but they certainly can, and they're going to have to rely on a front line that has no recognised back-to-goal striker, but they've got plenty of pace, haven't they, with the likes of Bahaja, Sotirio, Piscopo, Darts Melia just in behind. But Ben Wayne for the opposition has been in great form, so if they are to go back-to-back for the first time in their history, they are going to have to keep the Wayne train quiet today.
Yeah, it's going to be a big loss as that man who leads the line, unbelievably, Trent Bahaja gets the ball across the face. Will it count? The offside flag is up. Joshua Sotirio thought he had the opener at the back post for Newcastle. It was a wonderful ball in from Trent Bahaja on the right-hand side, but the flag goes up. It won't count. Newcastle thought they had the perfect start.
Piscopo will play as that sort of false 9, if you like, dropping into midfield. We know his creativity. He can certainly link up the likes of Becca Darts Melia. And he is that player, isn't he, that everyone's labelled as being the replacement for Daniel Pena from last season, who gave so much creativity and assists.
There's Piscopo dropping deep to play one over the top for Bahaja. Tries to cut in on the left. It's dealt with by the Wellington Phoenix. Laws clears the lines initially, but the Jets continue to have it in the final third. Good opportunity here. James McGarry against his former club. Can you believe it? He had so much time and space on the edge of the area, wasn't closed down, takes the opportunity, and after a disallowed goal in the opening minute, the Jets do have a goal, and it's the former Wellington man, James McGarry, with his first in the A-League.
Well, that's a wonderful finish. He may have got lucky with the initial bounce, but there was nothing lucky about the final touch. That was put away with some aplomb by James McGarry. You see, he just gets a little bit lucky there, but his intent was to win the ball. Then he sees a little bit of space in front of him, and he sets himself up brilliantly for the strike. And what a strike it was, giving Ollie Sale no chance at that far post.
The Jets are confident that they won't spend too much time on the sidelines. Does leave them a little short up front, but the way James McGarry finished for the opening goal, they won't be too concerned as Wellington go all the way back to Ollie Sale and start again.
You've got your left fullback finishing a goal like that with his right foot. Certainly poses more questions for the opposition, doesn't it?
So Tim Payne on the right-hand side. Now here's an opportunity for Zavada. He calls for the corner. He insists that it came off Jenkinson, who remains on the ground. The referee, Jack Morgan, will make sure Carl Jenkinson's okay. It was a heavy collision in the box, nothing sinister. At this stage, it'll be a Newcastle goal kick.
Well, let's applaud some fantastic defending from Jenkinson, first of all. He really had to stick to his task here. As you can see, the Newcastle defence dropping off. And he stuck to Zavada. Even though Zavada had probably just got off his shoulder, he stuck to the task. Jenkinson showed all his experience. Wonderful defending.
Now here, Donald Jones Stadium up against each other. Here is Wooten again, who incidentally scored twice in his first 2 games against Newcastle. So, good record. Ball given away. Newcastle break here through Sotirio down the right. Looks for options. Goes backwards. Build again here. And lays off with Piscopo. Has a strike. Oh, what a wonderful effort that is. The Newcastle Jets, 2 to the good. And it's an incredible strike from the Georgian. It was his countryman last week, Becca Mikkeltadze. And on this occasion, it's Darts Melia. Ollie Sale had virtually no chance. And it's an incredible strike from long range.
Well, there's not too much you can add to that. That is an outstanding, world-class strike from Becca Darts Melia. First of all, he set himself up with a nice little 1-2 on the edge of the box with Piscopo. And then he unleashes with a venomous left foot strike. That is outstanding. This is where Wellington now need to move the ball a lot quicker than what they are. There's not enough intent. They're chasing the game now. There's not enough intent behind their ball speed.
Josh Laws tries to play one over the top. It's well brought down by Barbarouses, who'll have a sight on goal, but comfortable for Weir, and maybe the difficulty rating might have been just a little too high there for Barbarouses. Although we know how good he is.
Here's that goal again. Look at that. Too much space for Piscopo and Darts Melia to link up there, but take nothing away from that strike. That is quite remarkable. And as you said, Glenn, that will definitely be in the conversation for goal of the season, I've got no doubt.
You could see Ollie Sale was absolutely filthy with his defensive unit for hanging off, giving them the opportunity to build that up. It was almost like one of those ones at the end of a training session, Mossy, where you've got one bloke standing on the D and playing a 1-2 with the strikers.
Yeah, that's right. And with the ball coming backwards, and it was well laid off by Piscopo, but the way the ball was coming to Darts Melia, that made it a little bit tougher. And if the ball was rolling forward to strike.
Here's an opportunity for the Phoenix. Zavada tries to cut one. And they go here now. And Zavada again gets a deflection. But thankfully for the Jets, it sneaks just past that front post. It was good build-up work on the left-hand side by Kraev. Man, Zavada going so close to getting the deflection that would have opened his account. Unless it brought down, there's no goal, of course, as they come again with another corner here, the Phoenix. Cleared on the first occasion. And now they can break Newcastle, as they did for the winner last week. Piscopo finds himself in the position that Sotirio was last week. And that's good covering defence in the end by Ugarkovic, getting back to pick the pocket of Sotirio. But it looked as though it could have been a carbon copy of Mikkeltadze's winner last week.
That's right, but full credit to Ugarkovic. He really turned on the afterburners to get back and help his team out. Excellent defensive work by Ugarkovic.
And they switch left-hand side where Sam Sutton is waiting. In, of course, for Lucas Moragas, who's on loan at Wellington from Newcastle, and as part of the deal was ineligible to play against his parent club, although Tale suggests that he found out quite late in the piece that Moragas wouldn't be available. Lewis tries to thread the needle for Wayne, who's been kept fairly quiet by Newcastle so far. Sutton will come back in, cut back in for Kraev. Will have an opportunity from the edge of the area, and just like that, Bozidar Kraev, with one of the first shots that he's had of the afternoon, first time right foot, bottom corner, celebrates. Wellington are back, 2-1.
What's a fantastic strike from Kraev. As you see them break the lines there, Wayne does well. He's strong, he stands tall. He brings his wide player into the game, and then it's all down to Kraev with that space on the edge of the box. Even though Newcastle, through Thurgate, are trying to close the ball, he doesn't get there early enough. Wonderful strike by Kraev to get his team back into this contest.
Well, won't that change the team talks at half-time? It'll give Wellington some confidence. Newcastle did appear to be a superior side, and you'd have to say will still deserve to go into half-time with a lead if that remains the case. As the ball over the top from Zavada. Weir's a long way out, but he does well on the edge of the area. There's afters between Weir and Zavada, who seemed to come underneath Weir as he went up and collected that one right on the edge of the area. I thought for a second that Weir might have almost been waiting a little too long and it might have hung for Zavada, but not too much in that one. Goalkeepers generally do end up with free kicks in that situation because the arms are up, but not a huge amount, I don't think, in that from Zavada.
No, not a lot, but he did take his eyes off the ball just at the final movement there. That's probably what got under the skin of Michael Weir. I think he had every right to go for the ball. It was there to be contested, but you can't take your eyes off it and turn your shoulder into the goalkeeper.
Maybe just a cock of the elbow into the ribs as they made contact, and that potentially was what Weir was upset about, as Newcastle give the ball away in a dangerous position. Kraev's got one already. He'll lay off for Zavada. Now they come left-hand side for Sutton. Can he get a decent ball in? And Michael Weir is able to collect comfortably on the 6-yard box and release again. Piscopo over halfway. Bahaja's through the middle. Piscopo continues. Goes left for Sotirio. Tries to find Bahaja, back post, and Trent Bahaja. The Newcastle Jets conceded just a few minutes ago, but they've restored their 2-goal advantage. It's the former Central Coast and Sydney man. He's made his way up the F3, and he has one for Newcastle, 3-1.
You want to know how to turn defence into attack, this is how you do it. Brandon O'Neill, take a bow, fantastic driving run through midfield, picked his pass, Piscopo, in fact it is, sorry, picked his pass with Sotirio, who just drops a beautiful, delightful, dinked cross into the back post and said, Trent Bahaja, go on, fill your boots, son. And doesn't he what? Fantastic Newcastle goal.
The last 2 times Wellington visited Newcastle, they were on the wrong end of 4-0 scorelines, and they played each other in pre-season, and that was a 6-goal thriller, a 3-all draw. So always one for the fans between the Jets and the Phoenix. Strong challenge from Bahaja, but no foul on Kraev.
Credit to Sotirio as well. That was a delightful dink to the far post with his left foot on the run. Picked the run and put it on a platter for Trent Bahaja.
Now the ball in behind for Barbarouses. Kraev's ball in. Can't find Zavada or Wayne. They do have a late throw. Will there be time? The 3 minutes allocated is up. Jack Morgan puts the whistle in the mouth and blows half-time. What has been a fascinating opening half at McDonald Jones Stadium. 2 early goals, including to this man, James McGarry, and a goal of the season contender for Becca Darts-Melia had Newcastle seemingly on their way. Wellington got one back through Kraev, and then Trent Bahaja with a late header at the back post, giving Newcastle at half-time the advantage. The Jets at home lead the Phoenix 3-1. Josh Laws and his centre-back partner, Scott Wooten, will have an important job in the second half to try to prevent Newcastle from adding to this advantage. Try to find a way to link up with the men at the top, the Wayne train, who is yet to depart the station this afternoon. 2 in his last 2. We have to say that his strike partner, Oscar Zavada, has had very little access to the ball as well. As we get underway again for the second half at McDonald Jones Stadium, Wellington have to score first. Try to find a way back into this one. Making one change at half-time. Clayton Lewis making way for Nick Pennington, and it is the fresh legs. Pennington makes a run forward. He finds Zavada on the penalty spot. Can't quite control. Tries to backheel for Barbarouses. Scrambled away from Thurgate, and straight away, Wellington showing a little bit more promise. Ben Wayne involved in that attack.
Fantastic work from Ben Wayne. Not so from Zavada. That was a real opportunity gone begging there. His first touch let him down. I think he was surprised how much space he had inside the Newcastle box. A better first touch there. The second strike. The second touch is a strike on goal.
Sutton, who was involved in the Phoenix goal in the first half, on the left side. They go back, and Pennington finds himself at centre-back. Steve Ugarkovic in the middle of the field. And they sort of interchange a little bit there, Wellington. Their defensive midfielders find themselves in the heart of defence on occasion. The ball attempted to be dinked over for Zavada. It falls favourably for Piscopo. And that one just goes wide of the post for Costa Barbarouses. Arthur Pappas with his ideas about how he wants to play and the players that he wanted to highlight and bring in. Ben Wayne wants a free kick there. A frustrated reaction to not only Jack Morgan's decision, but the way this is playing out. That's a great ball over the top. Trent Mahaja finds himself one-on-one with Ollie Sale, and he can't find the composure for a double that would have just about, despite the fact there's plenty of time to go, put this one to bed. Trent Mahaja, with all the time in the world, can't finish.
Well, Wellington caught all at sea here, but this is the part of Trent Mahaja's game that he needs to improve. There's no doubt about it. When he's got time, too much time to think, you can see he doesn't believe. He needs to commit Ollie Sale there. He doesn't. He looks up far too early. He needs to commit Ollie Sale on the angle and then tuck the ball away. That has been good this afternoon so far, the first hour, next to Matty Yerman. Plenty of experience in Yerman, of course. That has been nice and steady. Played out from the back well.
Sotirio takes on Payne. Still going, Josh Sotirio. Finds Darts Melia at the back post. He's already got one for the highlights reel today. Sam Sutton gets the better of him on that occasion. Now Jenkinson's ball finds a way through, and McGarry's so close to getting a second. Just wide.
And on his right foot as well for McGarry. It was a great ball in from Jenkinson. You can see Darts Melia here trying desperately to get onto his left foot. Sutton does really well defensively. Waits for that left foot, and then Jenkinson just swings the ball in to a really dangerous area. McGarry just couldn't get the connection that he hoped for.
So Wellington live to see another day at this stage. Route 1 again. Ben Old looks for Barbarouses, goes himself. They hang off Ben Old, left foot, and he just pulls that one across the face. I don't think Ben Old realised he had so much time to take the ball forward. The Jets defenders holding off. He had Barbarouses on the left, but he had time to go himself.
You can see a lack of communication there between Jenkinson and Yerman. They didn't know which one to go for the ball, which one to stay the runner. And Michael Weir makes them aware of it.
They look to break again, Newcastle. It's picked out. Van Hattem and Barbarouses linking up. for the Phoenix. Starting to open up a little bit more here now in Newcastle. Great ball through for Oscar Van Hattem. Weir's out sharply. He just had to take an extra touch there, Van Hattem. And Weir pounced on it and wins the free kick for his troubles.
What a fantastic pass from midfield that was. Great goalkeeping by Michael Weir. Does what he needed to do. Stays big. Closes the angle. Van Hattem couldn't quite get the purchase on the shot that he wanted.
Ben Old just turns away and switches the play up for Josh Laws. Here's Thurgate again. The culprit giving away that free kick on Van Hattem. Take it quickly. Pennington with space. And Wayne tries to find position. Van Hattem has time and space. Was he in an offside position? No, says the assistant. And in the end, Weir saves one-on-one, but you'd have to say that Van Hattem possibly could have done better.
You know, he's got a good record of recent times.
Thurgate does well. He'd given away a couple of free kicks in that position, but he won out there. Now Wellington get it back. Payne cuts back for Ben Old first time. And that one slices off the inside of the boot. Out for a goal kick. They are building here, Wellington, but they're just not getting anything for it in the final third. Remains 3-1 and another substitution on its way.
Look, it came pretty quick to him there.
Barus is just trying to create some sort of magic. Holds ball over the top, first time for Van Hattem. Weir taps it away. Not overly inspiring on that occasion. Van Hattem was trying the first time. Sublime. Continue to push here, Wellington. Get another opportunity. Callan Elliott will go back to Laws. And that header is just skimming off of a very frustrated Ben Wayne's forward. And Michael Weir can dive on the loose ball again. And now Brandon O'Neill can break. Good support from Grozos. In fact, it is Grozos who goes into the area. Nothing doing, says Jack Morgan. And the Jets add a fourth here. Slowing things down now after almost breaking as they did in injury time against Perth last week. Going from one end of the field to the other. The offside flag is up. Wellington play up from the back again.
Certainly not suggesting this has had anything to do with today's performance, but those headlines about Talley, the New Zealand national team job during the week, don't want that to become a distraction in any way.
Jack Morgan brings a halt to proceedings, and for the first time in the history of the A-League, the Newcastle Jets open their campaign with back-to-back wins. It was 3 goals in the first half. The difference between the two sides, 2 of them coming early. And the Jets get off to a winning start. It's finished in the Hunter. Handshakes all round for Arthur Pappas. The Newcastle Jets 3 have defeated the Wellington Phoenix 1.